Hello, everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of the Gridiron Glory here with Tad and Will, where we cover all 32 NFL teams, featuring their stories, their highlights, their successes, and their struggles. And today we're going to be recapping the Washington Commanders' 34-13 home victory over the Cleveland Browns here in Week 5. For the Washington Commanders, what a start to the season. A lot of people had questions for how things would go with Jaden Daniels in his rookie season, and so far it's been nothing but a resounding success. They've looked like the best team in the NFC East early on in the season. It's very early, and we'll see if other teams get some things together. But right now, Washington 4-1 after the victory. Very impressive showing there. So you get Jaden Daniels 14 out of 25, 238 yards, a touchdown and interception. Also
He's
11
really
runs
good at football, Jaden Daniels.
for
I'm just
82
so
yards.
pumped and excited about Jaden Daniels as a football player. He's so good. Like Jaden Daniels is so good at football. Man,
For
is he
sure.
so good, and he's proven it in his rookie season.
Jaden Daniels, a very dominant football player early on. It looks like at this point he might be even a runaway for the offensive rookie of the year. Just doing outstanding things on the football team and leading Washington to wins, which is not what anyone would have expected. But I mean, you give him a very underrated offense with a lot of high quality pieces. Guys like Terry McLaurin, 4 catches, 112 yards, including a 66-yard reception. Austin Eckler doing things both on the ground and in the air. Six carries for 67 yards, and also 2 catches for 30 yards. You get a touchdown catch out of Dyami Brown, the receiver there, who's not somebody that gets a lot of hype, but you just look at him and sometimes he's out there making plays. You get 2 touchdown runs for Brian Robinson Jr. Just a really dominating showing from the Washington offense, and that's something that we've honestly come to expect this year. A very good look out of the Washington offense.
Yeah, yeah, a very good look out of the um Commanders offense. Jaden Daniels. I mean, what can you say about Jaden Daniels, right? I mean, he's athletic, he's a leader, he's tough, he's resilient, very well built as a quarterback. Certainly has the use and mobility to be able to use his legs. Yeah, I mean, he's very explosive, very talented. Um, he's just an exciting football player to watch. We saw it at LSU. We're seeing it on the NFL level. So, I mean, yeah, Commanders fans, be excited because it's been a while for your franchise. You guys have been
Mhm.
through quite a bit of things, the name change and all that, this and that, ownership issues, coaching carousels. You got Dan Quinn. You got Jaden Daniels. You're 4-1. You lead the NFC East. Happy times in Landover, Maryland. Um,
Yeah, definitely happy times for the
and
Commanders.
happy times for the Commanders. And you go out, you add pieces like you were mentioning before, Austin Eckler,
Hmm.
Diami Brown, Terry McLaurin. I mean, who did? I mean, yes, unfortunately, did get a fumble in this game, but nonetheless, this Commanders team found a very good way to get the job done. And as for the Cleveland Brown, 1-4 now. I mean, it's been the same story with them for years and years. I mean, the quarterback curse seems to continue. You got Deshaun Watson starting now. You got Jameis Winston on your bench, or Jameis Winston on your bench. I mean, who is at the helm? Who's the guy for the Browns? That question might not be ever known or answered. They might not just maybe they're just the franchise that's meant to forever just never have a permanent quarterback or a long-term quarterback. Maybe that's just what it's meant to be for them at this point as a franchise. I don't know, but it's not Deshaun Watson. I mean, I can tell you that.
No.
So, and obviously, aside from the off the field issues and stuff, just didn't look like a football team that was. I mean, especially when you got guys like Amari Cooper, Jordan Atkins, Deontay Freeman, and Jerry Judy, even David Njoku. I mean, you got to be able to make more use of your weapons, and just Deshaun Watson just wasn't really able to get that going. I mean, also not to mention he didn't get too much help from his offensive line as he did get sacked
Mm.
7 times in this football game. A lot of major question marks right now for the Browns offensive line. So, um,
Yeah,
yeah,
certainly not a good look for Cleveland. Not a whole ton for the Cleveland fans to be excited about, but if there's one thing that Cleveland Browns can look forward to, it's the upcoming return of Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb will be back in short time. He's recovering from that gruesome injury he suffered last year on Monday Night Football against the Pittsburgh Steelers, and the entire NFL can't wait for his return. Can't wait for Nick Chubb to get back out there on the football field and see what he can do. So that's something to look forward to. Other than that, you perfectly encapsulated the situation with how much of a struggle it is for the Cleveland Browns right now. Deshaun Watson, arguably the worst contract in the league. And I'm not trying to just be disrespectful here. That's just what
fact. I mean, it's actually it's a true
the
fact.
analyst leads to. He's just not produced at anywhere close to the level they need with the massive contract that he's gotten. So just a very disappointing stint in Cleveland for Watson. And at some point, you got to question, when is enough enough? When do you turn over to somebody else? Do you give Jameis Winston a chance just to see if you can be more competitive? Because at this point, it's really getting quite embarrassing for Cleveland, a team that had hoped to be somewhat competitive, and now you're getting into games that just aren't competitive with anyone. You've been blown out more often than not. You have the one win, you did beat Jacksonville, but other than that, you lose to the Cowboys in a blowout. You lose to the Giants. You lose to the Raiders, and now a blowout here in Washington. So just a dreadful season so far for the Cleveland Browns, and a lot of questions about where they can go from here. What do you do with Deshaun Watson? Do you make a change? And just, is there anything else you can do to be more competitive?
Yes. Be sure to or I'm sorry, did you have any final thoughts or takes on that, Tad?
Yeah, when it comes to
Or just overall?
Washington, one final take is Washington, Baltimore next week. Lamar Jackson, Jaden Daniels, gonna be an electric game. Please like, subscribe, and follow the Gridiron Glory as we promise to bring you quality NFL content throughout the season. Thank you.